All right, so I'm
Right.
here with my friend Deo Moreno, who is from Toronto and moved to Costa Rica. So I'm here to find out why he moved here, what made him move here. So you're going to find out from him directly because I'm still learning. So he's going to tell you all about that. Hang on. All right, Deo.
Hi.
Tell me, I mean, this is a beautiful place that you've created here.
Thank you.
It's you have a house, a pool, chickens, plants,
Food.
flowers, food, and you have a 5-year plan to turn this place into what?
A permaculture garden, which means self-sustainable, and it's actually natural type of growing food and
Yeah.
living, I suppose. So permaculture is a sexy name for it, but it's really going back in time where our forefathers did farming and the way they lived. It's really just the modernization of things kind of ruined it, but it's really a revolution going back to the way things were done during the indigenous times and living with the land. So
Yeah, like living off the lands is really, I think that there's a trend going
it is. I mean,
towards that.
even in Canada, where I came from, and the Philippines, where I'm originally from, there's a lot of talk about living sustainably because of what you see now in the grocery stores. Everything now with the, they're saying the veil is being lifted, where see a lot of podcasts talking about the 7 food groups is a fallacy. Everything you buy at the grocery store will kill you. That kind of talk is kind of scary. So I guess I could say that's one of the reasons, I guess, I wanted to look for a homestead. Canada is a beautiful country, but a all year long homestead is not going to work for an old man like me. And the older I get, the colder it gets. So that's, I guess, the one reason why. But I guess the main reason why when I did this, was everybody saying, "You're crazy. You gotta be crazy to go live this beautiful Canada and to go live somewhere else." But I'm not really leaving Canada. I'm only living here mostly in the winter time, and I still come back to Canada. So I would say, yeah, it was a crazy decision, but I was going to that point where my age can't handle winter. I guess that's number one, being personal reason. Number two is what I think is going on with economy, the society, the food we eat,
Politics.
politics, all that. What I would say is the Canadian way of life, the modern living. It doesn't resonate with me anymore. I guess it comes with age. And I got grandchildren, and I want to create a homestead for them. Because when I get old and I can't travel anymore, I would like it that they come to me. So I'm going to make a homestead that they would come visit. The other thing, too, which my wife just mentioned, is when I did this, it was after COVID. So we experienced a global shutdown. We got stuck in the Philippines and all that. So I said, if I'm going to do this, Philippines was suddenly crossed out. I started something there, but that didn't push through. So I changed it to Costa Rica because I see what, if I can't fly anymore, I can actually drive.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You
You
can
have to
drive.
cross 5 countries, so you gotta work on your Spanish. So, and that's one of the things that I said I picked, because I went through the choices of Portugal, Mexico, Panama, all those countries. But I picked Costa Rica, not because it's the cheapest, because it's not, but I think Costa Rica was more of security, peace of mind. I don't have to put bars on my windows and doors. The Pura Vida lifestyle, the fact that they abolished the army back in the 1940s. So there's no army here. You just got to deal with 2 police. One is the Transito, which is going to give you a ticket for driving too fast. That's the only police. Seem to have more powers, or the police that we call them the white police, because they just keep peace and order. So if there's trouble, neighbors fighting, they show up, that type of thing. So I guess it's peace of mind, security based on the government here. They're not like, they don't have rebels and rebellion. people here are content with life. They don't even want to work, the locals. It's the Nicaraguans that come here. They do the heavy dirt grunt work, because the Ticos is they have good laws. There's so much preserved land here, so there's more preservation areas than population areas. Speaking of population, there's only 6 million. It becomes 10 million during high season because of tourism. So I don't know. I guess I don't know how many points I gave you there, but there's plenty. But security to me and healthcare, they have of all the Central American countries. They said healthcare is very good here. It's free once you get to a certain age, but because I'm a foreigner here, I still cannot get the universal healthcare coverage. But if you apply for residency, which I can, there's pensionado, where you're over 65 and you're earning pension minimum 100 US, you can apply for residency. It's a cheap way of getting residency in terms of taxes, blah, blah. But the good thing is now you can get avail of the universal health care. So it's free health care, free certain type of medicines. The only thing is for us that we're not used to is the wait time. You go to a public hospitals, which just like the Philippines, those public hospitals way better with all those UP students or doctors in there. They have the same thing here. Best doctors work for the public hospitals, but the wait time is longer, of course. So people adapt to private hospitals, which also a lot of them here for the gringos, for the foreigners, expats who don't have the coverage, that type of thing. So that's healthcare I like. And then there's pensionado. There's an investor like me. I bought the house, so I am qualified. But I haven't got my residency here. But I would rather go pensionado. And then there's the digital nomad like you, and like many of you who works online and makes money that way. If you come here, the government will give you breaks on your computer that you bring. They won't charge you taxes for that because it's your tools of trade. And you just have to prove that you are indeed a digital nomad, and you can come in and get residency. Residency means you don't have to leave the country every 6 months. You're allowed 180 days maximum, I am. But I have to go out of the country and come back again to renew my 6 months. So if you're a resident, you no longer have to do that. So that's one value, and you're part of the healthcare system. In some places you go, they have a pressure, like this place I want to go in Heredia. It's a beautiful, huge nursery. If I'm a local, I pay half the price. Because I'm a gringo, a foreigner, I pay twice as much. So if you are now a resident, you are considered a local youth. So those are the little qualities. And I haven't applied for it because it's so backwards. So if you're going to come to Costa Rica, those people who came and went back saying, I can't handle it, there's a lot of things why they can't do it. One, they can't adapt. Here, it's like going back in time. Like you got to be a time traveler. Go back 40 years, the way they do things in the office, in the government. So applying for a residency, they'll give you a DIMEC saying, so now you're technically acceptable to all these other things, but the actual process will be 2-3 years. So you don't care because you still can do whatever you want because they give you a number, like a temporary driver's license.
So patience.
Patience. You gotta
patience.
have patience here. And you gotta have that Pura Vida where don't be in a hurry to get things done because you can't adapt. And the other things is language. They don't try to speak English, because we're probably just gonna laugh at them as Filipinos. We like to laugh at each other's English, and they do too. And so they don't care about speaking English. So it's better you learn some Spanish if you want to adapt. So adaptability is a huge thing. Otherwise, you can't live here. Second thing is the weather. You gotta get used to the weather, which comes with bugs. We all have bugs in Canada, black flies, whatever, mosquitoes. Here, they have different scorpions and that kind of stuff. So if you can't get over that type of thing and fear of iguanas, the lizards, they're all over, then it's gonna be hard. So adaptability, I think, is important. And to live here. So I don't know. Did I answer the question?
Yeah, that's actually that's a lot of answers,
Yeah.
and it's in depth.
Yeah. If you have any questions now, then
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Do you have do you how much time do you spend uh, going out and exploring the area, or are you done with all that
Yeah, I'm not
exploring?
done, but the way I did it for those who wants to do this is like first thing that you gotta do in your mind is the desire to leave Canada for winter and have a like relocate
Yeah.
for a period of time. I think that's number one. Once you have the desire, everything will come to its place. So I had that desire. I did my research, and I said Costa Rica is it. So I came here in January, first working day of January. I was here. So went to a school called Permaculture Design course. And for that, I traveled, check every town, get the feel of the vibes. And so I basically checked every town to say, if I did this, where is it? So just like, real estate, location, location, location. So that was the first thing I had to figure out is the location. Now, you talk about Costa Rica, there's different climates. Where we are, Guanacaste, is hot and humid. You go up to the San Ramon, La Fortuna, it's like up in the mountains, everything's green, so it's cold. San Ramon, they have to have jackets, like, I don't know, it's like a winter jacket the locals are wearing because it does get cold. So very different there than here, and it's the same time of the year. And you go further up in the Chiripo is another, it's like cold but dry. And then there's the Central Valley where the big city is. So it's so you gotta get to the climate is one of the things that I have to get used to. And as a Canadian, my wife cannot really handle this. So we have air conditioners, I have a pool, we have to be near the ocean. So we have to make a criteria. So if you're doing this and you say decided to do it, have a criteria. Like near the beach, it's got to be 15 minutes less to drive. It's like, this is the things I got. You got to have a pool. For me, I got to have land to grow things and feed myself. So we made all those criteria. And it's got to be like from the airport is 2 hours or less kind of criteria. So from there, it kind of, now you can see where you want to go, and then you focus there. And what I did is I was here for over 3 months. I almost got penalized for staying over. But I went, and then when I finally found a place, I stayed there for, just to check out people, go to the bar, look for the locals, eateries, local bar. So I did that. People seems friendly, and I had an experience that gave me full confidence with them. But my rental car was banged by somebody who was drinking a national holiday, and I didn't know. He said, I got no insurance, and it was a rental, so it's gonna cost me a lot. But at the end, he says, what are we gonna do? I said, and he did one of these, Joe, pago, stuck his hand like this and did not move. He stick it on. And I just grabbed it, and he shook it, and I felt good. Like, how human sometimes vibes gets transferred. I don't know if you believe in that. I do. But I felt good, and I said, okay. So I said, it's okay. And we exchanged phone numbers, and he said, a guy named Miguel will do it. And sure enough, the next day I got a call saying, when are you going to bring your car? And I did not pay a single cent. He took care of everything. Within 2 days, I got the car back. I didn't have to pay the insurance, the rental, because I didn't buy the $50 a day insurance. So I was sure it's going to cost me. So anyways, it turned out good. And that from then on, I said, boy, it's kind of what sold me to Costa Rica was that interaction with a local who did not speak any English. And at the time I was new, I spoke zero Spanish, and somehow we shook hands and created a bond, an agreement to say we'll fix the car. So that's one of the things that kind of did me. So it's important to go at the place where if you're not ready, I would have rented if I did not find the place. I would have come back and rented a place. and stayed longer and keep looking. But I was fortunate that on my last week, literally the last week, I found this place. And it was a dilapidated, abandoned place for 2 years because of COVID, and dilapidated because people stole stuff from, because they was left it alone, like abandoned. So, but I was wearing my rose-colored glasses. I saw something else. This pool was a pond. Animals were like all around, beautiful nature around, because the animals was using it for their hangout. And iguanas on the roof and stuff like that. But like I said, with rose-colored glasses, I saw something else, and I made a 5-year plan. So I'm gonna do this year 1, year 2, year 3. We're going on year number 3 now. And so far, it's okay. We kind of check a lot of the things we said we're gonna do. We got more things to do, 2 more years of things to do. Then I think I will achieve the point where we can make extra virgin cold pressed coconut oil.